The final spot at Worlds hangs in the balance for the teams competing this weekend. We'll see if it goes to the team synonymous with North America at Worlds or the newer faces battling it out today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NALCS Countdown, where for 30 minutes we choose between this or that and listen into the comms of a show match until the timer reaches 0 and we jump into Champion Select. As the players ready up on stage and back in their ready rooms, Kobe has joined us for the NALCS Countdown. 30 minutes of hot, packed content. How you feeling? You ready for this?
I'm feeling great.
All right, good. I'm glad to hear it.
I've never heard Countdown described that way.
Yeah, I don't.
Hot, packed.
Content.
It's Countdown.
There's a lot of content. 30 minutes of it, as a matter of fact.
The hotter it is, the more you can squeeze in there.
PV,
Pressure. It's a pressure cooker. It's basically what this show is.
Equation.
All right, now that we're thoroughly off track, let's get back on track with a refresher of the teams fighting for the last world spot in our bracket, presented by Jersey Mike's Subs. Today's match pits Clutch Gaming versus Echo Fox, with the winner facing TSM tomorrow, and the winner of Saturday's match facing the final boss, Cloud9, on Sunday. Now, with the numerous ways this tournament can play out, I'd like to welcome Chat's prediction for who you think will be crowned the number 3 seed for NA going into Worlds. So spam chat with either CG, FOX, TSM, or C9 as I solicit the thoughts from the 3 analyst desk members. Gentlemen, what are you thinking when it comes to the 4 teams that we have competing over the next 3 days?
I think it's pretty close between 3 of the teams, so why don't we just knock one out right away? Clutch feels like the clear-cut underdog, right?
Yeah, I mean, Clutch finished 9th in the regular season. We have seen the last team go in before, but what's interesting here is you look at the teams in the gauntlet, like C9 versus TSM, that series went to 5. TSM versus Echo Fox, that series went to 5. So there's a lot that could still happen in here, but Clutch would be the miracle run.
Yeah.
Has happened before. Cloud9.
And that's what everyone's going to be clinging to when it comes to their team's hopes of making it to Worlds.
Putting percentages to it, Clutch has less than a 5% chance, I think, of making it all the way. And then as we can see, Chat's coming up pretty closely.
Hey, Chat's giving him over a 10% chance.
Whoa!
Chat is loving
Clutch.
Clutch. They have to beat Fox, then TSM, then C9. C9 just has to win the one best of 5 at the end, kind of like they've won every best of 5 in every regional qualifier ever. So they should be the favorites.
I do find it interesting how close together Echo Fox, TSM, and Cloud9 therefore are in the chat's votes, almost by virtue of Clutch picking up maybe a few more than they should.
I feel like the people who are voting for Fox and TSM are picking between one of those two and kind of saying, like, this team will beat C9 in the final. And that's why those two are kind of evenly split. Like, they're seeing that as kind of maybe the real final, like, assuming Fox beats Clutch, and then you get Fox versus TSM.
There's no takebacks for those 56 people who have put CG in chat. Like, chat is safe forever.
People like underdogs. You want to see a run like that, right? A gauntlet run all the way to the top is exciting.
It's not what you want. It's what you think will happen.
Yeah.
74 people really think.
That's not really how people vote.
Instructions unclear, I guess. But even within that, I do think it's interesting that we can see a number of rematches of series that we've already seen. You talk about the closeness of a couple of those quarterfinal, semifinal series, and that's probably what excites me most about this gauntlet in particular, is that these are matchups that have history, a very recent history.
Yeah, and I think TSM in particular playing 15 games over the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, now they're going to get more shots here. Like, I expect them to actually kind of be the most acclimated to the best of 5 format because they've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, TSM, I mean, even Bjergsen talked about it a little bit, of trying to put more and more time, especially for Grig in best of 5s and in those high-pressure situations. But another one of the teams, Echo Fox, they also, have some of the history or whatever. Huni was sick during that best of 5.
Right.
And they still, had a pretty good showing and also pushed it pretty far themselves. So I really do understand why chat is so split between TSM, Echo Fox, and Cloud9, and they're all kind of even.
Right. The question remains.
Do you think it's that split, Kobe?
I would lean a little bit heavier towards Cloud9, but honestly, after the way that Team Liquid so solidly won the finals, I think even most people's expectations for Cloud9 were sky high. Best team in the league, everyone was saying, all the players from scrims and everything.
Right.
But that was a very sobering finals for them. So
gonna have to rebound from that 3-0 defeat. Now, last weekend, Oracle Arena was packed to the brim with talent, and to learn from the pros, you have to hear how they react under pressure. Bad news, though. All we have is the sounds from the show match in this week's mic check, so take a look.
Tyler, you got to keep the headset on. That's a deduction if you take it off.
Oh man, we're breaking the rules.
We're gonna lose a band again too.
We're breaking the
right
rules.
behind you.
Oh. Yeah, this reminds me of when we were on Dig and we get fucking smashed every day.
Do you remember when we'd sing songs?
Yeah, those are the good old days.
Those are the only highlights of our matches.
All right, Tyler, give me the rundown. What just happened?
Memes, a lot of memes. That's about it. It was
Okay.
really good.
Yeah.
He's actually a good
You guys are
entertainer.
team 2.
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, you actually are. Wow.
Yo, thanks.
Well, this newfound bromance is really bringing this team together. Good job, guys.
I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping to get a show match against you at one point, Tyler. Same team is still good.
Where are my hot hands at? You guys remember the hot hands?
Yeah, they had those. They had those in the back,
hot
actually.
hands at, dude?
Dude, they had them.
You gotta have had the pro player experience.
Yeah, but they got rid of them because we're not pro. You think they're shelling out the hot hands for us?
Not gonna lie, fellas, I'm kind of worried. We have the bottom tier LCS, 2 bottom tier LCS players on our team.
Yeah. I mean, I can't deny it.
This is not gonna go good.
I mean, these guys were bottom tier of Challenger.
You're not wrong. Hey, these guys were so bad they actually got kicked out of the LCS.
Yeah, exactly. Who are we against? Are we against Freak or Matt?
We're against Freak.
All right, this is free as man.
Are you sure?
Hell yeah. I mean,
Is there any jungle prow picks?
Pike?
All right.
Wait, are you doing it?
Yeah,
Like
you
Pryo?
gotta trust me, Tyler.
Well, no, we actually scrimmed with it. We actually got some wins.
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
All right.
Who-
Yeah,
who-
trust me.
This guy wants to throw down bot lane. He's making fists at us.
Him making fists actually is making me more confident.
Yeah, this is free, dude.
You guys want a pregame speech real quick?
Yeah, let's
Give me
go.
one, Tyler.
From bottom tier
Yeah.
LCS team. Washed up caster.
Yeah, that's true.
Toxic top laner, NA.
Wait a
It
minute.
doesn't matter here. This is where it all comes down to. The streamer showdown. This is where you can finally regain some of your rep. Get some of that back. Let's go ahead and let's get this freaking W. Let's
Sick.
get this.
Let's f***ing go.
Oh,
Let's go.
freaking go.
So if you're talking about washed up LCS players and streamers, that's them, right?
I said caster.
That's a pretty good motivational speech. I think some teams could use Tyler one.
Well, good news. Solo was on that squad, so he heard that pep talk. We talked
If
about
they beat Echo Fox, the credit is going.
to Tyler One.
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Wait,
All right.
but that didn't get them the win in the show match.
No, it didn't.
That's a good point.
It didn't get the job done there. We've got 2 more installments of the show match Mic Check coming to you this weekend, so stay tuned to the NALCS countdown over the coming days. For now, though, we're stepping away. When we return, Kobe and Jack do a live this or that and break down match 1 of the regional qualifier. As we go to break, here's a look at the newest iteration of Eyes On, which followed the stakes of Oakland Finals weekend.
Before I was on Cloud9, I was on Team Liquid for a year, and my last conversation with Steve that I had right before I left the team was him telling me that he doesn't think I'm cut out to be a professional player and I should look more into something like streaming. So I'd like to see what he thinks after our match this Sunday.
So don't stop, keep it going, with some privilege in the back, blowing. Hold it down for the Bay, reppin' Oakland. If it wasn't for that granddaddy smoking, that's what I mean, for sure. Know what I mean, for sheets. Know what I mean, for sure. Know what I mean, for sheets. Know what I mean, for sure. Know what I mean, for sheets. Know what I mean, for sure. Know what I mean, for sheets. I don't put that on, that's my word. I don't put that on, that's my word. I don't think they know, that's my word. I don't put that on, that's my word.
this is your last shot, right? If you lose, you're out. So there really is no room for mistakes or errors here.
We are prepared, and I don't think they're looking like as strong as they did before. I still have a lot of respect for Huni, but he has had kind of a strange split.
Dunn coming down onto Huni. Remember, no flash available on the Echo Fox top laner, who's already going to be dropped. Dardoch having to walk himself away now, taken very low, taken very down.
I hope he comes up and steps up that day, and we can have a really good match.
Not an easy match at all, but I'm pretty sure we're the better team.
Hogwo looks to make an entrance, but instead he's going to have to pop his own stopwatch. Apollo is alone, and both bottom lane members of Clutch Gaming are going to be taken down. It's 3-0 Echo Fox.
Oh, the snipe
Vegas!
But whatever, dude. Ride hard or die.
Welcome back to the NALCS Countdown, where we're doing this or that with Kobe and Jat live on the Countdown for the first time. So if you're someone who watches Countdown but doesn't watch this or that on YouTube, you've never even seen this show, so here are the rules. 6 slides, sometimes it's a different number, but today it's 6. We've never seen them before, and we pick this or that. It's really simple. We could have probably never explained the rules, and people would still understand.
Great job, Jad. Yeah. Perfect explanation. Let's pull up slide number 1 and get started. All right, bigger stomp, spring finals or summer finals?
Ooh, it's interesting because both of these series had a close game 1, followed by progressively more lopsided games. If you go by game time, it was spring. But I think, to me, the feeling of summer was different with all the subs being brought in. Also, the feeling of summer where Cloud9, there was a huge story behind them, you know, going from 10th place and rising all the way up to the finals, only to get, you know, 3-0'd by Team Liquid. I still am going to say spring, though. I'm going with this because that made an impression how quick that was. If the thing you were stomping is supposed to be stronger, does it make it a bigger stomp, even if it's close to the same? Like, stomping an ant versus stomping, like, a squirrel. Like, no, it doesn't matter. I can stop the. Okay, we're good. Okay. What's your answer? Summer finals because it felt more like deflating that it wasn't close. Everyone was expecting C9 to be so good. Spring was way faster. Okay. Spring was definitely. Slide number 2. Do not stomp squirrels. I do not condone that. Better combination, non-swole, swole, or half swole, because they tried all 3. Yeah, I think they had the right progression, ending up with the half swole or something. My right arm is bigger than my left What about the other half swole? They didn't even see that. Yeah, we didn't get a picture of that one, but honestly, the reasons that they went through these iterations, Blabber had a hard game in the first round, then Golden Glue got solo killed, had a hard game in the second one, so you ended up with this, so I'm gonna take the other thing. You're gonna take half swole. I'm gonna take half swole. It's the best combination. That's the most experienced combination. I'd say by the record, it's actually the non-swole. This is the original combination. You know who else isn't swole? Xmithy and Pobelter, and they beat all 3 of them, so non-swole by definition is a better combination, and they were 8-1 at the end of the regular season, so slide number 3. Flawless argument. Yeah. I like that one. Better top laner, Cho'Gath or Sion? Having the finals very clearly in my memory, I'm gonna say Sion just because of how ridiculously tanky he got. They got the change to his W. You can get a lot more health very easily, passively by just killing minions. True. So you get to be this big thing on the front line. People are taking Glacial Augment sometimes too, so you have to watch out. I think the recent changes to Sion to make his max health pool so much larger, the more health he gains on last hits, pushed him over the edge because traditionally it's been Cho'Gath, the fact that he brings more crowd control and just eats the other frontliner in so many fights. But I think Sion gets so ridiculously tanky that the feast is no longer effective in taking him out, so I agree. His low cooldown ultimate also so reliable for the engage that we've seen. Practice your drifting on Sion Speedway. Golden Glue still a champion, although Impact was the best drifter on the final stage. Next slide, number 4 on this or that. NA's GOAT. Bjergsen or Doublelift? It always used to be Bjergsen, for sure. Yes. But Doublelift has made a very good case. He has now tied him with championship titles. He won the MVP. He's done it on 3 different teams. He's done it on more teams. I've actually been swayed over to the Doublelift camp. Kobe, I'm team Doublelift. 4 MVPs. I don't care. To 1. Doublelift is in the conversation. Teams. And you say they're in the conversation when they're not that yet. New argument. What's okay. Every team that kicked him off after they won, he went to a new team and won with the new team. That is big. You're gonna get a lot. CLT kicked him off, he went to win with TSM. TSM kicked him off, he went in with Team Liquid. I'm not a prisoner of the moment. I remember the past. Bjergsen has won 4 MVPs. He has been that for longer than Doublelift. Right now, Doublelift is the greatest of right now, but currently he's not the GOAT. Fair enough. Right. I'm still taking that. Next slide. NA's third seed, C9, TSM, or Echo. Where's Clutch, guys? We haven't even seen that game yet.
Run.
On this or that. the producer bias. I'm going to say C9 because they've never lost a regional qualifier.
While they were pretty close best of fives, I also am going to say Cloud9.
And they were in the final.
Yeah, exactly. And the final was versus Team Liquid, who had like a very solid hold on, those games. But I still think Cloud9, especially with the 7-man roster going to be in full effect, and them having more chances to utilize it, will find that success.
Yeah.
Huni not being sick, though, could be good for Echo Fox for making a big run.
Listen, any of these teams can beat any of these other teams in a best of 5, I believe so. It's just so much harder for Echo Fox because they have to win actually 3 best of 5s in a row if you count Clutch. So the fact that Satan only has to win 1 helps them. Slide number 6, which is the final slide on this or that. More impressive, winning back-to-back splits, or the Ginyu Forest Pros. Or the other thing, catching that photo in that moment with the setup and the lights.
And you can't just add to the slide. You don't get to put up
That's
the
just my opinion.
Honestly, though, other teams have done Ginyu Forest Pose in other esports as well. This one was the most crisp that I've seen. Also, Ole changed it a little bit. He's supposed to be a little bit shorter and more upright, but he didn't want to block Double Lift's head. That is a support move if I've ever seen one. I thought that was clean.
You think it's that?
I think it's definitely
You think 5 people doing a pose is more impressive than being the best 5-man team when millions of players play the game in North America?
Convince me I'm wrong, Jet.
The 4 of us and Joel could do that with an hour of practice. We could never win back-to-back splits.
You can't do it with this confidence without first.
It's this. Kobe's being ridiculous today. That will do it for this or that live on NALCS Countdown.
Why are you emphasizing the end of the show so hard?
I don't know. We're going to go back to the desk. See you in a bit.
I think notoriously Echo Fox has been like really good into us, and they just play like a different style that we're not like entirely used to. We've only beat them once, I'm pretty sure, in our entire season. So going to this match, we know that's just gonna be kind of difficult, but at the same time, we are prepared, and I don't think they're looking like as strong as they did before. So yeah, I mean, even though they have done well with us in the past, I think we still have a chance.
Citing that they still have a chance, Apollo is, but I want to discuss some of the this or that action that was going on there. Because I don't know if I should be insulted at the fact that you think it would take us an entire hour to achieve that pose.
They did it pretty well.
Did you see theirs, though?
It was great, but like, come on, we just have to get into this in an hour?
I have seen people for years just do the Ginyu pose horribly or awkwardly or make it not look cool.
Yeah.
The fact that they had the lighting and the smoke and like the stage and the music, I would argue it's the greatest Ginyu Force of all time. Whereas people have won back-to-back splits multiple times. CLG has done it, TSM has done it, Liquid's done it.
Everyone in the world
I haven't seen a cool Ginyu pose.
Oh my goodness. I did not expect you to go that direction like that. No, it's great. As well, I think it was interesting hearing you guys talk about the, Cloud9, TSM, Echo Fox, who will win.
Yeah.
That discussion, in my opinion, more mirrored what Twitch chat's kind of prediction was, is that there is quite a possibility for all 3 of those teams to win. Slight edge, though, for Cloud9, as they only have to play the 1 best of 5, and we're the top-ranked team out of those teams coming into the weekend. Now, despite not seeing both of these teams playing today, Echo Fox and Clutch, it's hard not to pin Clutch as clear underdogs in this situation.
Yeah, and it's no surprise why. They did finish the season in 9th place, only ranking above the Golden Guardians. If this would have been last year, you actually lose your spring championship points if you fall into the promotion tournament. But with franchising, that doesn't exist anymore, so they maintain their championship points and get seeded into this regional qualifier.
So they got a shot at Worlds here, but it isn't an easy one.
Yeah, and I think people look at kind of that C9 miracle run that happened way back in 2015. And they had a 6-12 record at the same time.
Which is the same.
Which is the same, but like you said, they were coming from a league that had, I think, like a 1 1-win team in it, so they were able to pick up a couple more wins along the way. Clutch, the fact that they were competitive in spring and all that does make me have some hope for them a little bit, because we can see that, like, if the right people get hot at the right time, they have a chance.
I mean, to me, I would want to see Clutch succeed in the same ways that they succeeded in spring. We need Fabivin back in his form, and they need the bottom lane to start making those big plays. Hakuo pulling out the Thresh or something.
Right, and again, much like that Cloud9 run, if you turn it on now, that's the proof and evidence we need to a degree to accept a team going to Worlds at that point. If they can actually run the gauntlet and win back-to-back-to-back best of fives. On top of finishing higher, though, than Clutch in the regular season, another reason why Echo Fox are favorites is how competitive they were in the quarterfinals with less than ideal circumstances.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of looks at that Huni series, and he had been kind of underperforming a little bit, but when you hear he was a little sick during the games, as well as sick all week and missing practice, it kind of is surprising that they were able to take TSM to a full 5 games and almost win that series.
And I heard he was, this is food poisoning, really sick during the weekend for the practice, so actually didn't get to even play League. Yeah. But, there are pros for this team as well, right? Dardoch also has been a monster for them, and he's been a monster for them before.
Exactly. This is a rematch of the 3rd place match in spring, which was the fastest best of 5 we have ever seen in NALCS playoff history. And a lot of that series was Dardoch dunking Lyra over and over again. And that's when Clutch had actually been looking better than they have this split. Now, there is also 3/5 of a new Echo Fox team from that moment. So there's a lot of change variables. It just sets up Echo Fox to be pretty big favorites.
And even though Fabivin has fallen off from spring and hasn't been as good, he's up against Damonte. Damonte is new to the league still, and is still kind of working out his playstyle with Echo Fox. Echo Fox has this very fast and chaotic playstyle, and for Damonte, he's a guy who wants to be, a highlight player, right? So he goes for a lot of big plays. We've seen some of them get turned around on him have high moments and low moments.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, to be fair, though, we always talk about how Echo Fox feels like their identity is almost 100% derived from the top laner and the jungler Huni and Dardoch. And so Damonte coming in, he's definitely, I think Phoenix actually looked pretty good a lot of the times last split, so I think it's hard to say it's exactly the same, but it will, I still think, come down to how the top and junglers are playing.
A challenge to acclimate to the Echo Fox play style, but when it comes to Echo Fox's play style, Lost knows all too well how swingy it can be.
We are very unpredictable. I like to say that our team is a curse and a blessing, and that's how we play. We're really scrappy, definitely very scrappy. We would like not to be, but it is what it is, and at least it's fun to play it. At least it's fun to play it, but there are a lot of ups and downs with the way that we play. But whatever, dude, ride hard or die.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever, dude.
I love
Just
that
ride or
capper to
die.
it. So nonchalant. But there is, I think, a lot to glean from that attitude, of a player specifically on a team like Echo Fox, because I would imagine it'd be hard to be successful on that team with any other attitude, thinking that things need to be more structured or stringent or standard. In this case, saying, hey, I realize that there's going to be chaos. Let me accept that, try and live and play in the moment, and follow the lead of these other more aggressive individuals on my team.
I wonder if Huni's the one who taught him that quote. Ride hard or die. I feel like that's something Huni would say.
Well, also,
this time in America.
To be fair, we've seen a lot of the LPL teams have like 36 kills in 25 minutes, so it does feel like it's a little bit more accepted to have a go hard or go home.
Yeah, I was prepping for world teams a little bit. Both IG, one of the super strong LPL teams, Fnatic also has very low game times, high kills per minute. So a lot of the top teams from multiple regions have been embracing that style.
Ride hard or die.
Whatever, dude. All right, time to get down to the brass tacks. Win conditions for these teams. Kobe, I'm coming to you for Clutch Gaming. Understanding that they might need to replicate a Cloud9 miracle run. How do they do it?
It is a lot of stuff. I had to go pretty deep into the past successes of Clutch Gaming to get their win conditions, so let's start it off. Good news is, off the bat, it doesn't matter which side you're on because they only have 6 wins. 3 on blue and 3 on red, so that's 50-50 chance.
Boom.
Honestly, though, the champions that are very important are also all bird-related. Fabivin on Swain, 24 KDA. Apollo and Hakuo on Xayah and Rakan, 23 and 25 KDAs. So stick with the avian theme.
Stay in
now get
flight.
into the game. You have to invade immediately. In their fastest win, Solo got first blood at 1 minute and 9 seconds. That is before minions spawn, so you have to go invade the enemy in their jungle right off the bat. Clutch Gaming are also second in first turret percentage in the North American LCS in wins among all of the teams, so focus on that objective super early on. Clutch Gaming also have the most wins when Febiven and Apollo have higher jungler pressure than their opponents, so Lyra definitely needs to play mid and bottom side. With that, Apollo and Hakuo have to spend more than half their laning phase across the halfway point on Summoner's Rift and play aggressively push up. This can allow Solo to use his
Holy, there's another stage.
It's a long list. There's a lot of things that you need to get right here. Solo, 6 minutes and 33 seconds. Remember that time? He teleported bottom lane against Cloud9, got a triple kill, his only of the entire split. Let's replicate that. Objectives are also important. Take the Rift Herald. 4 out of 6 of Clutch's wins were enabled by Rift Herald. And you need to buy at least 40 control wards. They have never won a game with less than 40.
Wow, that's actually a cool stat.
The opposing support 4 times and the opposing jungler 3 times has also always resulted in a win for them.
Okay.
And then you just want to finish the game with at least 10,000 gold.
Oh, at least 10,000 gold lead.
At least
Easy,
we have
easy.
50 seconds left until Champ Select to finish countdown.
Hey, thank you for doing your homework, though, Kobe. Normally, it's pulling teeth getting win conditions out of these two guys, and you went above and beyond the call. So thank you very much.
He said, you know, eat an apple every day.
Yeah, exactly. Mark, Echo Fox win conditions. What do you got for me, my friend?
Thank you for your question, Dash. I'll be making a YouTube video alongside the win conditions done on the NALCS countdown. This answer has been chosen to be answered in that video, so stay tuned.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you,
I'm really glad
Mark.
I read
Wonderful
your response there.
Can't wait for that
just wait for the
video
video.
response.
I learned it from the
How about
team.
this, though? You think you could hand me your predictions?
Yeah.
All right, hit me with them. Let's go.
For me, it's going to be a 3-0 for Echo Fox. That's it.
But
guys,
you don't think they're going to hit Kobe's win conditions?
But again,
those are very specific.
Kobe, this is the level of effort that I get. So
They just make loud noises on the analyst
Kobe
center.
took up literally like 5 minutes of time.
I'm also taking Echo Fox 3-1. Boom.
Yeah,
Go.
3-1.
There is
boom,
a slight
go.
delay on stage, so we're allowed to talk about this.
That's
It's not like we're
okay.
rushing anymore.
Yeah. 3-1.
Kobe bought us so much time, thankfully. I'm going to say 3-0.
Glad I'm appreciated here. You
Although
are.
I don't think Echo Fox is reliable enough, and I do think that Clutch has the ability to win, I'm just guessing a 3-0.
You don't think they'll kill the support 3 times, juggler 4 times?
I mean, if 1 out of 4 games is what you think that'll happen.
How momentum-based do you think this series is, though? I feel like Echo Fox is one of those squads where if they were to drop the 1 game or falter somewhere in the series, that the series could really extend.
Yeah, well, I actually think that Echo Fox probably has so much confidence coming into this, even if they lose 1.
They just
ride hard or die, whatever, dude.
ride hard or die, whatever, dude. I'm going to leave it there. With that, we're going out to the battle arena to get into Champion Select.